Tom Downey here for Chat Sports. Before we get into today's edition of NFL Daily, the NFL preseason is here. NFL Hall of Fame game already happened. Didn't quite finish with the weather. How many NFL preseason games will you watch? How much of an addict are you really? Sound off for me in the comments of today's show. Let's get into the latest with Brandon Aiyuk. There is still no resolution for Aiyuk after days of contract and trade rumors and conflicting reports and all kinds of chaos that was going on for several days for Aiyuk. Nothing's happened, and nothing may end up happening. The Pretty Ricky account, who our People's Insider, who has retired, this was his trade bomb. We'll get into some of the options here, convinced a Brandon Aiyuk trade was about to go down. That was kind of then amplified by the Aiyuk and the coaching staff and the front office, I'll call them team. The bro hug that was like, they're celebrating a contract. They're saying goodbye. Maybe it was just nothing. Other people had then claimed an extension was imminent. Everyone may have been wrong here in the end. Our People's Insider might have also been wrong. He may, for the first time, have really truly got in a way that he hadn't been before, and now his insanity run might be over. He's retired. We'll see if he comes back or not. There have been multiple teams who have been linked in trade rumors. The Cleveland Browns, the Patriots, two of the new ones. I know there's been some reporting on that. That originally came from Pretty Ricky. I don't know. People might not know that. That's where it was really coming from. Then the Browns local media has picked that up. Mary Kay Cabot said it was an option, that there's interest there in a potential swap for Amari Cooper going to San Francisco. The Patriots have allegedly made offers. Allegedly, Aiyuk wants to be a commander. They've always tied because of Jaden Daniels. Washington might have as much interest on that front. Pittsburgh's always been involved. We know that they've called previously. It's all crazy, chaotic rumors with screenshots floating around and all kinds of stuff, and nothing's happened. And nothing may end up happening. The contract extension parts might have been wrong too. Who knows? It's all chaos as we sit here early in August. So we'll spend some more time on this. But what do you think the Niners will end up doing with Brandon Aiyuk? T for trade, P for they'll pay him this offseason, N for nothing. It's all just going to be chaos and no deal gets done. It is the pinned comment on today's show. So if that ad comes on YouTube, great time to take advantage. And let me know how many preseason games you're going to watch too. T for trade, P for pay, N for nothing. We are truly in the I don't know what's going to happen territory. There was some smoke to the Browns stuff, but I don't know what's happening here. You know, there are clearly contract issues with Aiyuk and the Niners, and hypothetically maybe other teams. Someone else would probably pay him, but is that where he wants to go? The root cause of this, in the end, is that allegedly the last offer was Aiyuk was about $26 million, and that's a low ball at this point. That's several $1 million shy of what he would be able to get on the open market. Here's what Jeremy Fowler of ESPN last reported. The situation has gotten really sticky. That's an understatement, by the way. The receiver market is ballooning into the $30 million neighborhood as complicated talks. The Niners have not shown a willingness to pay Aiyuk what he thinks he's worth, and negotiations haven't intensified lately, last I checked. Here are the highest paid NFL wide receivers. Of this list, 2 of them were not paid this offseason because Tyreek Hill got an extension of actual $30 million per year and not the fake $30 million per year he was on last time. Justin Jefferson got paid. A.J. Brown got paid. Amon-Ra St. Brown got just over $30 million per year. Reasonable for Aiyuk to want Amon-Ra St. Brown money. That's not crazy at all. But Jalen Waddle got $28.5. Devontae Adams did not get paid this offseason. DJ Moore got $27.5. Getting ahead on that extension. Good for the Bears, by the way. Cooper Kupp did not get paid this offseason. Devonta Smith, Nico Collins, all getting paid. And at some point soon, CeeDee Lamb's going to get paid. That's been a colossal disaster for the Cowboys, by the way. I think several of these teams would be willing to pay Brandon Aiyuk. I think the Browns would. Patriots would love to get a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. You know, could they package a second-round pick and a player, or maybe 2 players even? They got disgruntled Matthew Judon still out there. That could help San Francisco. But do they want to trade him? They've got contractual control. And they've got 2 franchise tag options if they need to. Doesn't help their salary cap short term by doing that, but they have flexibility. So we continue to be in a Very sticky situation for Brandon Aiyuk, and we'll see what the hell ends up happening. Today's show is made possible by Game Time. I don't go to that many MLB games, but Producer Stone and I were both at the Reds game. I guess it's the Giants game, where Blake Snell threw the no-hitter, and I did it through Game Time. I got $20 off my ticket purchase, by the way, because I used code ChatSports for $20 off. You can head over to GameTime.co and use promo code ChatSports. You'll see it right there for $20 off. Game Time is the best place for last-minute tickets. That Reds game was delayed, and look at those ticket prices. They're pretty damn cheap in the end. All that to see a no-hitter. Keep an eye out for zone deals and flash deals as well. You can save even more with the flash deals or with the zone deals. Zone deals, you pick the section. Game Time picks the seats for big-time savings in the process. So download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. But again, create your account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, ChatSports, for $20 off. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Let's talk Justin Fields here. Could he start over Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh? With Russell Wilson missing time with that calf injury, Fields is at least pushing for that job. Here's what ESPN's Adam Schefter said. I think Russell Wilson remains in pole position, but I also think Justin Fields has opened some eyes, and they see the type of offense that they could have. Now, Fields has not been perfect. I want to emphasize that. But he has shown flashes, much like he did in Chicago, with Wilson missing some time with injuries and Wilson being the incumbent. I think there's a real chance we see both players play games this year. It's not like Fields has been the most healthy player necessarily. He's missed time in the past, too. Wilson already missed time this camp. Who starts more games this year for Pittsburgh at quarterback? JF for Justin Fields, RW for Russell Wilson. Sound off for me in the comments of today's show. Mike Tomlin, talking with the K. Adams Show, said this about the quarterback battle. I think I've been pretty consistent in my position there. I've characterized it as pole position for Russ. And the reason I have is when they're competing, but I don't overly concern ourselves with being fair. There's no such thing as 50-50. And so we just pay respect to the totality of his resume and his experience. Look, that job's open. It wouldn't be a bad thing for Pittsburgh. In fact, it'd probably be a good thing if Fields won the job, stole it from Russ. If it's a tiebreaker, I think they would go to Wilson because of the experience and everything. And I think it's a lot easier if you're Pittsburgh to, not that you really think this way, but I think it's worth mentioning, to, hey, we're going to make the move to Fields, as opposed to, okay, now we're going to make the move to Russ mid-season. Russ is not getting paid anything. In fact, Fields technically makes more than him this upcoming season, because from Pittsburgh at least, because Denver's paying so much. But I think that's how the money works out. So if Russ doesn't win that job, what's he going to do? He could ask people to be released. Got a no trade clause, though, in that deal. For all of the best NFL coverage, we'll have training camp updates for you guys, preseason as well. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Could Haason Reddick potentially have a reunion in New York or in Arizona? That's a popular rumor coming from the Cards here at trading for Haason Reddick after the B.J. Ojulari injury, which I think certainly is worth monitoring. It was last there in 2020. Had a great season. 12.5 sacks, 20 TFLs. Goes to Carolina. Has a great season. 11 sacks, 12 TFLs. That was on a cheap deal. Signs a something fairly undervalued contract in Philadelphia. 16 sacks, 11 sacks. Jets trade for him, and he never showed up to camp. He wants a new deal. He hasn't gotten it. Arizona has gobs of cap space. They could easily afford to pay Reddick and be able to better maximize their team, although they're still in a, call it a rebuilding process. Of course, it would also be the Jets admitting we screwed up. We've made a huge mistake, which doesn't happen that often in this fashion. 2 trades in the same offseason? Can't recall the last time. I'm sure it has, but I can't recall it off the top of my head. So will the Jets end up trading Haason Reddick? A for yes, B for no. The Jets' defensive end room, by the way, kind of needs to have Reddick out there. Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald IV, I'm excited about. Michael Clemens can be a nice run stopper, but McDonald and Johnson are still a little bit unproven. You moved a third for him. You don't have Reddick, you're kind of still in the market for pass rush help. Arizona, remember, they lost B.J. Ojulari to the season due to injury. Zaven Collins just got paid, and He's probably a better run player than he is true pass rusher there. They were banking on Ojulari emerging as a pass rusher. Like, you can get by with Gardeck, who had a really high sack ratio last year. Maybe Cam Thomas finally emerges. I have my doubts there. Xavier Thomas is a 5th-round pick. The, actual go-get-the-quarterback player isn't on this team. They have good front players. Zaven Collins is a good player, not a superstar pass rusher. Darius Robinson going to play more, kind of 3-4 defensive end. So I would not be surprised if Arizona was in the market for a pass rusher.